Go on guys, Mr. Dragons here, and welcome to episode 7 of the Vettel Alonso career mode. And we are here for the German Grand Prix.
Here we are for the 7th race of the season, and we're here in the Hockenheim ring, revving up to 5 red lights. And so away we go for the German Grand Prix. Hamilton gets an excellent start.
He does, Dragons. He's into the lead, into turn 1. Rosberg loses out from pole position. The AI very slow in the first corner, but we're still 5th. Nico Rosberg might have gone from pole to potentially 5th. Nico Hulkenberg temporarily into 3rd place there, and we got the next corner as we're up in the 3rd now.
Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton. We're looking to make a move here for the lead of the Grand Prix.
And this could be crucial towards the back end of this Grand Prix. Dragons making a move on Lewis Hamilton into the hairpin. They go. Dragons on the inside. Hamilton doesn't really put much of a fight there. And now Dragons lead the German Grand Prix.
Well, it's the perfect start from 3rd place for me. As there's 17 laps of this Grand Prix, it's only lap 1, so there's a lot can still happen. And look at the clouds. Will they play a part in this race?
It's a very gloomy day here in Germany as it's round 7 for the German Grand Prix, and at the moment Dragons takes the lead of the Grand Prix just ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who's really up your gearbox there, man.
Absolutely, I had a horrible entry into that corner here. I even had a little lock-up.
Oh, you locking up? Well,
yep.
That's a sight I thought I'd never see on this YouTube channel.
Another lock-up! And meanwhile,
Hamilton's in.
Has he got a penalty?
I think he must have got a penalty, because I could only explain why he's in the pit lane. Meanwhile, you're still leading by 0.8 of a second. Now we're up to 2nd.
Very questionable.
Rosberg up to 4th.
Very questionable stuff there for Hamilton. I mean, he can't just be pitting. We're pitting on like lap 7, so that'd be a really ridiculous pit stop for Hamilton. So we can only wonder what the hell happened.
Well, a penalty apparently has been given to Lewis Hamilton from the stewards and meant Rosberg's up to 3rd, not 4th. But the main story is Lewis Hamilton is going to lose a hell of a lot of points if he doesn't make his way up the field quickly, because there's 50 laps to go in this Grand Prix. You're very slow on the exit there,
Yeah,
man.
I'm going to take my time. I'm going to build a train. I need to do whatever I can to keep winning races if I want to be the world champion by the end of the season.
Absolutely, it's become a 4-way battle for the championship. Me, Hamilton, Dragons, and Nico Rosberg, the championship leader, despite retiring in Austria last time out.
We've moved on to the start of lap 3. Rosberg has the fastest lap. Meanwhile, I'm going purple, and you've lost a lot of time in the first sector.
Yeah, I guess the pace isn't really there with the Red Bull at the moment on this circuit. Nico Rosberg, the fastest man on the track, and Dragons has made a gap. Therefore, I'm not in his DRS. We're over 1 second behind you. As long as you don't make mistakes.
Well, there's a mistake. You're already back in my DRS, I'm sure. Luckily for you, Rosberg was too far back to try and go for the move for 2nd place. So that means Vettel, the German driver in this German Grand Prix, is still in 2nd.
Yeah, Vettel looking to win his home Grand Prix for the first time. He hasn't really won in Germany before. And in this universe anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have won in Germany. You won in F1 2011.
Alright, so I have won before. We're going to get 2 wins in Germany then. And we've gone purple in the middle sector. And look how close we are to you now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. The Ferrari is just a weird car in that final sector. As we come around, it's now lap 4 of the Grand Prix. I'm not even purple, for God's sake.
Once again, oh!
See you later!
That is literally the only reason why you went purple in that first sector.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it was somewhere else. Maybe you were just slow. I've locked up again. Maybe this is going to affect my race. I've had a horrible exit as well.
Not a great exit there for the Ferrari, but are we too far back to make this move? We've got the DRS, and maybe we might be making a move despite being so far back from the Ferrari. Here we go, we're gaining and gaining here. Down this straight into the hairpin, we're going to try a half-hearted move around the outside. Dragons scouted, and there's contact with the front wing and the rear tyre, but Dragon still stays out in front.
We've skipped over to lap 6 here, and this time you are much closer here. 4 attempts off at the start of the straight with the DRS. I've got maximum defensive, but you found your way on the grass, and I have no choice but to give you the inside line. Rosberg looks to have a go!
Dragon to spun off. Rosberg hits the back of the Ferrari, and we lead the German Grand Prix.
Well, there was space that wasn't there for Nico Rosberg. He went for the gap, and it was not the right decision, as he's nearly wiped his bird out of the equation for the lead of the Grand Prix.
And look at the gap that I have over you, Rosberg, and the wounds behind. I think it's Valtteri Bottas behind you guys in 4th place.
It looks like Massa or Bottas, but either way, Williams is there. And it's a now fight for second place.
Unbelievable. The race lead. The race has turned on its head and potentially the championship as well, because events like this will definitely be in the lead of the championship by just a couple of points to Rosberg. So we start lap 7. It's pit stop time here in Germany. 2.1 seconds the gap out in front.
Meanwhile, the Williams has decided to pit in this lap. So they're in the pits looking to do the undercut here. Hopefully not a two-stop, otherwise they're ruining their race. Meanwhile now, I'll be pushing hard to try and catch you before the pit stop, or at least try and hold you up. That would be the best possible thing I could do to you at this point.
Yeah, since you do annoy me on a daily basis on this channel.
The gap is still 2 seconds coming towards the end of lap 7, and this is the lap where most drivers would prefer the pit stop compared to staying out.
Also, the question is, where's the Williams going to come out in all this? Because they've undercutted everyone here. So now we're coming in lap 7 to make our one and only pit stop in the 25 race. Rosberg.
Interesting. Stays out on the circuit. Meanwhile, here's your pit stop. Probably a 3.7 if I don't hold you up. Damn it, I didn't hold you up.
Nah, you didn't. So, decent stop for Red Bull. The Red Bull mechanics getting this.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's not the same story for the Ferrari team.
Are you kidding? Nearly a 5-second pit stop. And now I'm absolutely miles behind you, but luckily for me, you've come out in slightly dirty air.
Yes, we've come right behind the Williams of the Lotus of Pastor Maldonado. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Lotus are so relevant this season. I forgot that Maldonado even moved to Lotus.
God.
There we go. We're looking to make this simple move on Pastor Maldonado.
The gap. I lost about 1.3 seconds due to those pit stops alone. Here comes Sebastian Vettel on Maldonado. Easy move here. And he better not outrank himself. He doesn't, unfortunately. But he gets ahead of Maldonado.
Well, that's the main thing. Now we're in clean air. We can start pushing your teammate, Kimi Räikkönen. It's up to 5th after not making
wait a minute. Vettel has gone well off the track. He may have messed it up in the braking zone there. We won't manage to catch it on camera. It's a huge mistake for the Red Bull driver.
Well, we made a huge lock-up. We went too much into the grass, into that corner, and now the gap was 3 seconds at the end of the first sector. It's down to 1.4.
My God.
And we're back behind the Lotus again.
You just got to wonder where Rosberg's going to come out in all this. With us being held up and having mistakes, Rosberg's surely bound to gain a lot of time on us.
Surely Rosberg's got to be leading this Grand Prix. Surely he has to.
There he is.
There he is. He's coming out of the pit lane. It's going to be really close. And despite the mistake, we're still out in front, and Dragons is behind. He's lost out massive here because Rosberg, on a fresh set of soft tyres, is ahead of the Ferrari.
That is absolutely incredible for Rosberg. An absolute catastrophe for me. Meanwhile, at least there's some good news. I've jumped the Williams behind. We still don't know who it is. But here we go. DRS on Rosberg. He goes slightly defensive. We're forced to the outside. There's a bit of contact there. But we were able to get through very easily.
Probably just a small love tap between you and Rosberg, just reminding him that he was always just a terrible driver.
Well, in 2013 anyway, he's come here in 2014 really strong. But if the damage model was more realistic, I would have been like Vettel saying I've got a puncher in Brazil.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, thank God there's no simulation damage on this game, because that would have been disastrous.
Four-way fight for the lead, and we've got the DRS enabled.
The DRS is enabled on the Ferrari. We go extremely defensive. They nearly make contact. And Dragons leads the German Grand Prix into the hairpin. No, Rosberg, no, not again. Not again. Not again, Nico.
Trying to take out his rivals to get in front. It didn't work with me. It didn't work with Vettel either. And I was so quick on the straight, I was able to go defensive anyway. It's a huge lock-up, though, for me.
And I think the Williams is Valtteri Bottas. And he's a lot closer to the top 3 than he was before the pit stops. So it's a 4-way fight for the lead of the German Grand Prix, and Dragons has retaken the lead of the German Grand Prix with just 7 laps to go.
Well, maybe Rosberg's lap was a bit dodgy as he had severe tyre wear. The tyres are absolutely awful on this game. So it's quite understandable that Rosberg had a slow lap with those tyres. Those old, super soft tyres.
Yeah, tyre wear is not great.
Oh!
He's in again!
He must have... Oh my God, Williams have put him on a 2-stop. For goodness sake, who decided that a 2-stop was a good idea in a 17-lap race?
Maybe the Ferrari strategy snuck into the Williams garage and recommended a strategy.
Or maybe
it's Jeff for F1 2019 who makes terrible strategies anyway.
Or maybe it's F1 2011's tyre wear. The tyres are awful in that game. But meanwhile, you've gone purple in the first sector. Rosberg is falling back. As here we go, side by side on the straight. You'll easily get through. I am gonna fight you. Of course I'm gonna fight you. Down the inside here into the hairpin. And we've retaken the lead. But it's not over yet.
It's a classic switchback move from the Red Bull Sebastian Vettel. We're side by side again. When's the last time you didn't see us side by side? Into this corner. Oh.
Not.
Well, thank you very much, Dragons. I'll take the lead.
I'm not going to risk us both losing to let Rosberg win. That'd be ridiculous. Here we are on lap 13 of the Grand Prix. I have the DRS. And obviously we're too far back. I've even had a little lock up there. But that's not going to affect me too much as I have a Ferrari engine. So even if I'm 5 tenths behind you, I will still have a chance to be ahead. Because you're harvesting us.
Why? This car is terrible. And you're going to breeze through.
Thank you very much. Going defensive again. And it's your choice whether to go for the move or not. And I've actually compromised myself here.
Yeah, you outbraked yourself and went really wide at the hairpin. What are you doing, man?
I want to push you to the right hand side of the track. Either way, we're side by side. And we're still side by side here going into the next corner. Still nearly having a collision.
No, we tried not to hit you and we nearly lost the rear end. We're drifting across the grass and we've lost out very badly there. We forgot to turn the Ritrix down to standard because if you have Ritrix on, you drift around like an absolute idiot. And now we've lost second place.
Meanwhile, these tyres are absolutely horrible. They're already slightly worn out. Maybe it's because we've been fighting. And Rosberg has been biding his time, saving his tyres without getting involved too much.
Yes, he is. And now,
I've lost
Rosberg. Oh. Well, we've got a DRS failure with the Ferrari. That's not good because that long straight is going to happen you badly. Nico Rosberg 8 tenths behind on this lap. It's 4 laps to go. And the gap is 8 tenths of a second between first and second. I think we might have lost this Grand Prix. And I just saw my teammate on the mini-map, so I think he's lost.
Wait, your teammate is that lapped car?
My teammate's a back marker.
No way.
The hell is this?
Oh
there he is.
my god. What has happened? What has happened there? Here we are on the straight. I am completely vulnerable to Nico Rosberg, who has the DRS, and he's going to fly past me here. Looking to go around the outside of me here.
And Rosberg tries to go right outside in the hairpin. He goes wide, but we've got the switchback again. And we move to the left-hand side this time. But we're up in the second place.
Oh no, why are you back here? Meanwhile, Massa, was it Massa who was fighting us?
I think so, but Massa's got the fast lap of the Grand Prix. And we've made the move for the lead of the German Grand Prix. We're up into the lead of the German Grand Prix. 3 laps to go. And the lead has changed hands again.
Well, I'm trying to win my 3rd race of the season. I've got in the grab one, thankfully. I haven't spun off. You're trying to win your 2nd, and I have no clue how many races Rosberg's won.
Well,
he's won quite a few.
He has won quite a few to the point where we thought the championship was going to be a cakewalk for Nico Rosberg. But since that retirement in Austria, it's brought an intensity from all 3 drivers at the moment. We've got 2 to go in a truly dramatic German Grand Prix.
I've gone completely wide, and I don't have the DRS. I've just realised. So I'm completely vulnerable to Rosberg. You've locked up.
Huge lock up there for Vettel. He goes wide into turn 2. And through turn 3 now, we're going to be really vulnerable. But thankfully, you don't have DRS.
Yeah, but I've got a Ferrari engine, so you better shut your mouth. Because we're still a lot quicker than you. Meanwhile, Rosberg somehow fell back here.
Yeah, Rosberg has fallen back as well into the hairpin again. We go into first gears momentarily, but we've got
what the hell?
And you've been tagged again. And look at this, Nico Hulkenberg has passed the Mercedes.
Oh my God, Hulkenberg.
In his home Grand Prix, Hulkenberg is into the podium places.
Would you believe it? Imagine if Hulkenberg gets a podium and there will be no Mercedes on the podium for, I believe, the first time this season.
It would be something that you couldn't have written at the start of the season. We're on lap 16, guys. There's still 1 lap to go, and we are looking on course to take our 2nd win of the season, but it won't be easy at all.
You know, I'm quite tempted to try and hold Hulkenberg in my DRS to get him that podium. Imagine his first podium for Force India. He's really under pressure from Rosberg though.
Hulkenberg on the move. The gap 1.9, so maybe you've just dropped off a bit there, Dragons.
Well, I think I'm dropping off on purpose. I really want Hulkenberg to win the Grand Prix. Meanwhile, you are really out in front. I think I've lost all sense of pace either way because these tyres are horrible.
Have you seen my left front, mate?
Have you seen those?
They're shredded. It's literally shredded. So I think it's a worry about getting to the end of the Grand Prix, let alone winning.
I believe that Perez is behind Rosberg. Here comes Hulkenberg. He's too far back, but luckily for him, he's just about ahead of Rosberg, and Rosberg desperate to get ahead. Look at him.
And there's Perez, as you said. Perez just behind as well.
Sebastian Vettel, after everything he's been through in this Grand Prix, is now going to probably take the checker flag if he holds on now. And I'm hopefully going to be second as Rosberg trying to go round the outside. And Perez is going to mug him off as well.
Well, Sergio Perez might have just mugged off the championship leader, but he won't be anymore because Sebastian Vettel wins in Germany. Fernando Alonso second, but you couldn't write this one.
My God.
Nico Hulkenberg completing the podium again.
What a race. And you obviously got the fastest
I
lap.
didn't actually.
Did you not?
No, because at one point we were all squabbling. Felipe Massa got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
Well, would you believe it? Where did Hamilton finish in the end?
Lewis Hamilton nowhere to be seen. I think
he
was the retirement of this Grand Prix.
Well, he must have tried to save the engine, save the parts on the car because he was down the order at the beginning. Or did he retire the race on the first lap? Who knows what happened to Hamilton?
We don't know, but Lewis Hamilton scoring no points in the German Grand Prix. And the championship, well, definitely has swung into Red Bull's favour after an incredible race. Sergio Perez got Rosberg in the end.
Oh my God, as we get into the celebrations.
What a race
My
we've just
God.
seen, and Sebastian Vettel will probably feel relieved because he gets his second win on home soil to end the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Probably race of the season.